Alright, so let's do this. So, there are many different ways to create a map. I tend to go over this on my other videos, but one of the best ways that I want to do for this, because really I don't know what's available in the packet yet for monsters necessarily. So what I do is I've actually created a token for every monster level up to level 3. And what I'm going to do is called Artboarding, or that's what I like to refer to it as. Right now I'm just going to call this map Grasslands because I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be or what our theme's going to be. But I'm going to set the pixels per cell to about 100 because that's pretty consistent with the objects inside of map tools. 100 seems to be kind of the baseline for making a good consistent resolution image. We're going to set it to square because I want to make these things kind of simple just for the sake of the maps. If you're in very wide open places, hex tends to be a better system. Even inside of caves, it's a better system technically, but it's a lot harder to work with because sometimes it's very ambiguous if a square is present or not. Like, is half of it walkable or is it closed off, you know? So square tends to be better for very crowded areas. If you're in like a field or something, then I would definitely go hex grid. It just makes measuring much, much easier. So we're going to set the background to black. I set the background to black because if you don't, well, I guess I could show that actually. Let's say that you just made the map, okay? All right, this doesn't look too bad right now, right? It seems okay. We're gonna turn off Fog of War so that it lightens up. So, you know, whatever. It's a grassy field, right? Here's the issue. Let's say you need to zoom out to see something far away. It really strains on the eyes. I think you can kind of get that. Like, just this field of green. And the pattern kind of like does one of those magic eye puzzle effects on you. So I'm trying to go back to the origin, which is about here, give or take. Whenever you enter a map, it starts you off at 0, 0, so I'm trying to kind of find that place. But that's easy enough. One of the nice things about map tools is usually if there's something wrong, you can kind of fix it one way or another. I'll explain some of the ways that you can't fix it as we come to them. So I just like to set the background to a black background. It also lets me add like additive space, so I never have more than I need. It doesn't strain on the eyes. It also kind of directs where the players are. Like if they just see black, then obviously they're not where they need to be. So with that in mind, we're going to set it to black. We're also going to go off to the side a little bit here. And we're going to do what I like to call artboarding. The first part of artboarding is I'm going to actually grab creatures that are maybe a little over level for our PCs. And the reason that I do that is so that we have a variety of monsters. They're not going to be over leveled as far as experience budgeting. Like, I'm never going to put them up against something that's too hard for them to fight. But I'm not going to put them up against all level 2 threats, essentially. So right away, we're going to go ahead and make a box. And this is just quite simply so that I can section off the ones that are at level and the ones that are above level. So we're just going to go ahead and make a couple boxes. And then we're going to do this. I'm going to go to the D&D Next packet. I'm going to go to the bestiary. And I'm going to the bestiary here because they've recently changed the what do you call it? A lot of the stats on the monsters. So I actually need to redo all the tokens that I had, but I'll be able to take a look and get an idea thematically what type of dungeon I want to create. I'm going to check the experience value in the Dungeon Master Guideline to figure out what I'm shooting for as far as experience. So if we refer to this table, we see that at level 2, our budgeting is 20, 40, and 70 per character per encounter. So that means our average encounter for, say, I'm going to make this for, say, 3 adventurers. So we're going to make most of our encounters be 60, 120, or 210. So I'll actually put those numbers down here. 60, 120, and 210. And there's just a little reminder box telling me what I'm looking for exactly. What is this? This is Map Tools. This is a program that you can use to host online games. It's basically a digital tabletop. A lot of people use Roll20. I prefer this. I think it's a deeper system. I think you can make much nicer maps, much nicer things on it. The interface of Roll20 is what a lot of people prefer. They like that it stores everything on the server, which is kind of nice. But at the same time, like, I enjoy Map Tools a little bit better. I think you can do just a little bit better stuff on it. Another advantage is if the server goes down for some reason on Roll20, you can't really make a game. With this, it's completely reliant on whoever's running the game. So we're going to go ahead and go into our D&D Next tokens, which I actually have a folder that I've imported into Map Tools. You'll notice that I have one for characters. That's just to store characters, you know. If somebody forgets their character or they log into a different PC or, you know, their computer crashes, something crazy like that, then at least somebody has a backup of their older characters. But what we're interested in is monsters. So I have them set as an alphabetical and an encounter level sheet. We're going to go by encounter level. I wonder if... Yeah, okay, I haven't set my level 4 tokens. So we're actually going to go and see what we can find. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to check for is also which monsters are level 4 monsters. And I'm going to kind of drag those out. So I believe I have every alphabetical monster. So I have like tokens for everything, I just haven't necessarily put stats on all of them. Which I'm going to do as the adventures continue. So let's see, we have Carnivorous Ape, which I don't know if we have. We have Ankegs. Kegs, R and I, okay. So yeah, we actually have all of those. Carnivorous Ape, Ankeg. Okay. And we're going to label these as well. So these are class level 4 monsters. These will be class level 3 monsters. 3. We're probably going to have to make this box bigger. I didn't notice that it was actually so small right now. Size. Yeah, this is actually a very small box. I should have made a much bigger one. And so for now, we will take a look at what else we have for options. So right now here, I'm actually looking at, you can see down here it says encounter building. I'm looking for things that are level 4 because I don't have those in the actual token sheet. So I'm looking for level 4 monsters that fall below 210 experience. So nothing yet, nothing yet. I should actually, to make this more efficient, I'm going to do a control find. Just control left. And I'm just going to do level 4. See, and it's going to shoot down to the next one. We have Dark Priest, which is a humanoid. I'm actually going to stay away from that for now, although that is an interesting option. We could make maybe like a evil cult type of thing. So I guess I'll actually make a small token for that, just in case it piques our interest. So we'll go to tokens, we'll go humanoids, humans rather. Let's see if we can find a token that seems to scream Evil Priest. Yeah, sure, he'll work. So we'll change this guy's name to Dark Priest, just as a reminder to us that that is an option. We'll also grab another person, and we'll call him Dark Adept, because that's a level 2 encounter guy. We'll pull him up here. We'll go to our drawing paintbrush once more. We're going to go ahead and delete this stuff. So I have to put in a fill first. Let's make a way bigger box, that way we can store everything. And here we're going to go ahead and delete this box and make a bigger one for that as well. Make that green. We need to recall that that dark 8-up is not in there. And we're going to move our reminder text over just a little bit. Can you put an overlay over your web? Okay. I can drop the webcam if you'd like. I'm not really blocking anything with it. Oh crap, the picture. Jesus, I'm dumb. Boom. Let's get rid of that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm used to having this as just capturing the program, not capturing the monitor. This is actually the first time that I'm doing that for this particular thing, and that's because I wanted to show the auxiliary windows. Like when I do this, when I do like this, and you can see the window pop up, that would not show if I just captured the window. I actually have to monitor capture in order to allow that to happen. So... Alright. So let's save once again. So now we know that the Dark Adept is an option, and the Dark Priest. So that gives us one idea. So by doing this type of storyboard, or this artboarding thing that I'm talking about, we're able to start theming our dungeon. So already we have an idea for either a full place. We could maybe do like a desecrated temple as an option. Another option is we could make this, say, a random encounter, where, say, maybe this priest and the adepts are trying to do some sort of ritual sacrifice here, wherever we're going to. Alright, what else do we have? We have a drow. Okay, drow's something. Drow gelatinous cube. Alright, so we'll go back up. And we'll grab our drows out. Gelatinous cube was an option, so we're going to grab him. Or it, rather, I guess. Yeah, look at that gelatinous cube. Just looks like it could wiggle right off the page. And that's terrifying. Getting attacked by Jello. Alright, so we have Gnolls and Gnoll Leader, who can be a pack lord. So... Okay, so we'll put our Gnoll pack lord here, and we can drag other Gnolls out onto the page, because again, they're options. They're at level 2. So we have another idea. We could do some type of Gnoll camp, maybe. I'm actually interested. I guess I do have the stats for the pack lord, which is kind of nice. I didn't expect that I would. That's a pleasant surprise. I might just go for the Gnolls because it's less work now. Alright, what else do we have? Greyooze, Tiger, Greyooze, Tiger, Lizard Folk Leader. So Greyooze, Tiger, and then I believe Lizard Folk are encounter level 2 as well, so that's an option. We can do a Lizard Folk lair. So already we're starting to see that that in particular, it seems like there's a lot of monster leaders inside this CR range. So it's looking like it's very much looking like we might have to build a encounter around that if we're not just going to do a bunch of random monsters. Get my dashboard up again. This is super hang-on, isn't it? Oh, Space Harrier. Sounds really similar. If you guys have ever played a Super Hang-On or Hang-On for the Genesis, or Sega game, or Sega 16-bit games in general. There was a game called Hang On that had music very similar to this. Let's see what else we have here. We have a werewolf, Medusa, Mimic. Okay. So werewolf is an option. Wow, we got a lot of level 4 options, which is pretty interesting. Right, the motorcycle game. It actually had some pretty sweet music in there. I'm only just noticing, like, in about the past year and a half, just how good some of the 8-bit and 16-bit music was, especially with the limitations that they had. Let's see. Mummy? Sure. Mummy, Ogre Jelly, Ogre. Okay. Man, they had... It looks like they put a lot of effort in these level 4 monsters. Like, just the amounts that they have. Which is fine, you know? I guess it's good. So we're gonna put you back down to medium gelatinous cube, just so that we can get all these monsters in. I didn't think that we'd have this many level 4 options, to be honest. Wraith, Yuan-Ti Half-Blood. But it looks like we're wrapping up here, so. Okay, we got our Yuan-Ti Half-Blood. Okay, and then we're back up to Ankeg. Okay, so that's our level 4 options. So we got some ideas here. Most of them revolve around it being like a monster lair. So we're actually going to put our monster lair type creatures over here, so we'll kind of differentiate them from the rest. What do we have? Those are our 2 leaders. Where's our other leader? Thought we had one more. Ah, Dark Priest. The rest of these are kind of like, they could be part of a monster thing. Like, obviously you could have an undead tomb with a mummy in it. You could have some sort of Medusa thing that's maybe snake-themed, which would be kind of cool, actually, now that I think about it. I might make that. However, Medusas are very dangerous. It's just... I don't know if I'd be willing to put the PCs up against a Medusa this early. Yeah, they do. They try... A lot of bands actually have tried out to do the 8-bit cover music. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bands that do it very terribly, like their garage band type things, but like Black Mages do a really great job. There's a couple other ones that just don't come to mind right now. I also feel like some of these are very pack-oriented, so I'm not really going to be able to use them. For example, like Drow, I'm not sure I want to have just one Drow in an encounter, and I really don't think I do, so I'm actually going to drop the Drow out of this. So normally I would put out every single monster, but I'm already starting to see some inconsistencies in this that I really just want to address immediately. Creatures that I don't want just one of, or I want to make entire dungeons of. And if this is an over-leveled encounter, being level 4, they just won't be able to do that. We have a slight, like, jungle theme kind of going here, which is also of note. Like, we can have, like, giant ants also as an option. I might not have it be a tiger, like maybe I'll replace a tiger with some sort of Northern European equivalent as much as I can. We have our kind of tomb monsters, I guess you could call them, which would be our Medusa and our Mummy. We have our trap-type creatures that I would say, which are our Oozes and our Mimic. Ogre's an interesting option as well. He could be like the band leader for a bunch of goblins or something. Lycanthrope, another rough one. I kind of feel like I'd want a pack of them, but there is a possibility to make it a random encounter, perhaps. So we've kind of brought down our options. I think that each of these encounters kind of has their place, so we'll keep them all up for now. Although I really don't think some of them are going to make the cut over time. Like, I'm not sure Wraith is going to make it. Really don't think Mummy or Medusa either, but we'll see. We'll see how it progresses. So we'll close those up and we'll start looking at our encounter levels. We have access to Basilisk, we have Carrion Crawler, we have Imps, which I wanted kind of a devil-themed dungeon, so they might actually get precedence on this. I had another one before that was kind of like a desecrated temple where the seal was broken. It was like a blood seal that was holding these demons at bay through a secret portal. And basically the temple had fallen and a group of kobolds had moved in and began doing blood rites to their god. And through their sacrifices, they actually accidentally let the devils free. Okay, so I really don't think a green hag's going to cut it here. Okay, we have a hobgoblin leader, which is of note, which means that hobgoblins are automatically in also as an option. So if I can find those guys, I think they're level 1 actually. Yeah. Okay, orcs. Orcs are an option now, which is good. The reason why I didn't make any orc encounters in the previous dungeons were because the inside next, orcs are actually level 3 challenge level, which is really high. I was actually incredibly surprised they made them that high. You know, normally orcs are the type of thing you fight at level 1, maybe level 2. But they decided against that on this, I guess. Alright, what else do we have? We have snakes. So, again, if we did like the Medusa theme thing, we could have snakes. We have whites for a tomb type of thing. We have wolves if we desired to make some sort of werewolf encounter type of thing. What else? Level 2. Alright, so here we go. These are meat and potatoes type of creatures. I'm actually going to look at the bestiary and make sure that we aren't missing anything obvious. Like many of the human monsters I didn't put inside of my lists. But we'll take a look at those real quick. Make sure we're not missing out on anything. Got ghouls. We got the green hags, hellhounds, hobgoblin leader. Okay, so human war chief. And human witch doctor. Okay. So let's find a couple of those. What speaks out to me is witch doctor. Yeah, this is called the sorceress, and it's just a straight up Egyptian pharaoh. I hate it when they do that in their tokens. Oh god, it's so bad. Okay, well, we're just making this a placeholder, so we'll just kind of toss someone out there for now. So we'll go human witch doctor. And then this is War Chief, I believe. So you'll notice that they only put the humans on for it. You could easily adjust them to be other races. You would just have to make a change to their stat block. Not too difficult. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so orcs, Orog. Actually wondering what level's Orc Leader? An Orc Leader's level 5. Okay. So giant snake, whites, okay. Then I'll check level 2s real quick as well. Again, checking one more time to see if any of the humans in particular. Okay, human berserker. Alright, so we have another type of thing where we can have like a tribal band of humans who are, say, like terrorizing a place or something. So we'll go human berserker. And this is level 2, I believe. Yes. Alright, so let's continue on with our level 2 monsters, see what else we have for options. Okay, bugbears are in there. They have a shot. Bullywugs also have a shot, but I'm not sure they're going to make it. I actually want to have an encounter with a bunch of bullywugs who kind of like ride giant frogs. I thought that would be a pretty cool encounter. Kind of interesting as well. We also have giant crabs. So we have the makings for like an aquatic type of adventure that's on a body of water with lizard folk, bullywugs, giant crabs, and the like. Okay, we have Quasit, Cockatrice. Doppelganger is a very strong contender because I wanted to do something with doppelgangers. However, I wanted them to be kind of more the focus. So they might not make the cut until, say, like class level 3 or 4. I wanted to do something of a very... I wanted to use their abilities to as much of their advantage as possible. And that's just not really practical if there's only, say, one of them. Although you could do some type of adventure where it's like a needle in a haystack scenario, where, say, you know, there's a doppelganger assassin or a doppelganger murderer, but, you know, he's obviously a very, very hard person to find. That might be a little bit difficult to do with the format of Artboarding, but it is an option that maybe we could explore at a different time. Make it work with a little bit of thought. For Costas, I don't really want to use them. Alright, we have... So there's two different giant snakes. There's a giant snake that's poisonous and the giant snake that isn't. That's why they're on both 2 and 3. They give an option for poison or a few other things. Giant spider. Troglodytes. Okay. Then we have our option for our level 1s. Which, if we're using with level 1s, we're trying to push a lot of them at one time. So, actually, Hobgoblin is a level 1, so he should be up here. We'll delete you. We got, whatever. We'll put a riding horse just in case. We have kobolds as an option. They actually gave you a lot of kobold options with the playtest packet. They gave you an alchemist, a winged one, a dragon shield, which is more of a warrior, and then they gave you the basic kobold. Thanatons, no. Rakastas, no. Don't really want to do cave rats anymore. I'm kind of tired of using them. Skeletons are still Skeletons are still kind of meat and potatoes of low-level campaigning, so they'll probably get a nod in. We got wolves as well, and zombies. So I kind of feel like making just the sheer amount of undead that I have access to, and the fact that I haven't really used them heavily makes me kind of want to make an undead tomb.